guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a fairly popular video I covered about 2 weeks ago, which is titled, Wife's Feminist Sister Tried to Sabotage Our Marriage, so I Kicked Her Out of Our Lives, plus more. And guys, that video is all about the guy who been married for like 13 years, he got married really young, ridiculously young, and he knows it, but he learned a heck of a lot in that time period, and the whole video, aside from talking about his wife's feminist sister, he laid out a lot of really good details, and pieces of advice, not just for marriage, but for any relationship. And I thought it was the darn good one to cover, and many of you guys who watched it really enjoyed it. Well, now he's back with an update here, really getting more details about a lot of things he was talking about, responding to a lot of questions you guys had, because you guys had plenty for him, and I thought it'd be a good one to cover here. And like I said in the other video, guys, contrary to what a lot of you guys want others to think, there are a lot of guys watching this right now that are relationship guys. And that ultimately, if you're single, probably will be in a relationship one day, or may even be married one day, whether you want to admit it or not. And so that video, I covered that because it was really good info. I've been in plenty of relationships myself, and it really did hit home. So I thought it was a good one to cover, and I know a lot of you guys enjoyed it. So his update here, he says here, as a follow-up, first off, I want to thank you for reading my email. It was great to hear your thoughts, and honestly, it felt good seeing all the comments from the guys who resonated with what I said. I read every single one, and I wanted to take a moment to respond to some of the most common questions and comments that I had. Well, bro, you're welcome, and I appreciate your writing in. Your email was great. Very good, solid information. He says, one of the number one comments he got was, this sounds exhausting. Why would I want to live like this? In other words, he wrote in all these things he had to handle with his wife. And I remember he talked about how she's this loyal, great, God-fearing, all these great things woman, but yet you could see in his story here that she could be a pain in the ass, as all women can be. But why would he want to live like that? And he says here, well, in the words of Qui-Gon Jinn, it's a hard life. Well, that's good to quote the coolest Jedi ever. He says, and you're right, it can be exhausting. I won't sugarcoat it like people did for me when I was young. Being married is a lifestyle choice. Like any choice, it comes with pros and cons. Yes, it takes a lot of effort to stay strong all the time. But over time, that effort becomes a way of life. It toughens you up. It's the same lesson every successful business owner eventually learns. No one is coming to save you. Well, ain't that the truth. I've owned businesses my whole life, guys, and there have been ups and downs. And anybody who's been in business can tell you the same thing. Or in a marriage. That doesn't change just because you get married. Expecting that it will is exactly what gets a lot of men into trouble. What do you get in return? Ideally, and he's saying ideally here, ideally, a woman who loves the structure you bring into her life. One who rewards you with the little things, like baking your favorite pie as a surprise, remembering all your important dates, and treating you like a king, provided you act like a man who deserves it. But make no mistake, maintaining the dynamic is work. You will make more money and have more flexibility if you avoid marriage altogether. That's no right answer, just informed decisions. And now at least you can make yours from a place of awareness rather than blind tradition. Okay, and there are a lot of guys out there that do want to have relationships and get married. And what I've noticed is a lot of guys that do want to get married, from people who wrote into me over the years, because I get so many things do not make it to video, guys. And the main reason a lot of guys want to get married is they want legacy. They want children. Particularly the guys want sons. And they recognize, yes, there are ways to do things, but they obviously, want to have a family and all that. And this is where they come to learn things to help them along that path. And so, it's work. End of story. You think it wasn't hard for my dad? My mom could be a handful. Believe me. And my sister was pretty easy growing up. He had that very lucky with her, that it wasn't drama central. My sister was a teenager. But my mom could be a handful. And he handled her well. Number 2, does he even love her? In other words, people were wondering, this guy even loves his wife, given the way he was talking about her and handling a wife. He says, yes, I do, but I am not in love with her. Ding, ding, ding. Dude, most men would never have the balls to say that. Yeah, You can love them, but don't be in love with them. And there's a difference, because if you're in love with them, you turn into Prince Harry. You turn into all these pussy-ass simps that just cannot lay down the law because, oh my God, she won't be in my life. Yeah. It says that distinction matters. I learned the hard way. Falling in love cost me deeply. Right here. One of my early girlfriends cheated on me with 3 guys at the same time. The fuck? I just did a video on my other channel about something like that. Is that you? I'm going to guess the answer is no. I'll let you figure out the logistics and move on. I could have fun figuring out the logistics of that, but out of respect for this dude, I'm not going to do that. Every time I've fallen in love, instead of simply showing love, it's ended poorly. I don't let that happen anymore. I show her love, acts of service, loyalty, presence, but I don't surrender my heart. Good, man. You learned the hard way. Anybody else out there saying that's a bunch of crap, knock yourself out. He says, why? Because most women aren't built to handle being loved more than they love you. You don't have to like the fact. I don't, but it is what it is. Thank you. It's the ugly truth. Look, a lot of people hate my channel and hate me and hate other channels like mine because we repeatedly shell out the ugly truth. People don't want to hear that. They want to, stick to the narrative. What makes them feel better. So again, it's a choice. If that life isn't for you, no judgment. Just remember, you'll be in the sports car while I'm shopping for a family van. Different lives, different costs. I have an idea, brother. You can don't get a fucking minivan. Get an SUV. That has balls. Get an SUV for the family and all that stuff. And guess what, Dad? You earned your sports car. Make it happen. Make that your reward. Of course, if you are investing your money and building wealth, in time, you can have your sports car. And ain't nobody touching that car but you. And your wife doesn't get to drive that to the grocery store. You earned it. But there are plenty of guys out here that watch this that are single and will be single and happily single to the day they die. And you can't blame any of them. And you're talking to one of them. Number 3. The sister just wanted to damage your marriage. She didn't actually want you. This is the feminist sister. If you recall in his story, the sister was always putting the moves on him, flirting with him, getting touchy-feely with him, and all that. And I said immediately, I caught bullshit saying, sorry, dude, it wasn't because she was into you. If she wanted to sabotage your marriage. Because I guarantee if he reciprocated to her hitting on him and, all that, boom, she would have been like, ew, get off me, asshole, and would report him to the sister, and they'd break up. As a sister, as his wife. And remember, he's the one that basically told his wife, she's out of the picture. End of fucking story. And his wife had a tantrum. Well, she's not in the picture anymore. It says 100%. I had that gut feeling for years. Every instinct, I had screamed that she was an enemy. If I had responded to her bait, she would have gone nuclear. See? She didn't want me. She wanted my wife single. Why? Because her younger sister getting married before her made her feel inadequate. Sun Tzu 101, never do what your enemy wants you to do. And this goes back to that saying about women keep each other single or something like that. Was it Kevin Samuels that said that? May he rest in peace. Or don't try to understand women. Women understand when they hate each other and how women are so competitive with each other. There you go. Number 4. Why didn't you run as soon as you learned she had a feminist sister? Aha. It says, because this was 13 years ago. I didn't even know what a feminist was. And I didn't meet her sister until after we were married. She spent her entire 20s traveling the world on her parents' dime. When she finally came back, she constantly trashed her dad. Hold on. Older sister spent her 20s traveling on mom and dad's dime. Then mom and dad were a couple of fucking dumbasses. Why is he traveling on her own dime? Sounds like she's a spoiled asshole. It says, let me tell you about the man, her dad. He raised 5 kids while his wife did not work. He worked 60-hour weeks for decades to provide for them. He built their 2,000 square foot 2-floor house with his own hands. Damn. Including an in-ground basement alone. I don't mean he hired some contractors and he just helped with the drywall. I mean alone. I've never seen him watch TV. National karate champion who still trains in the 60s. For fun, he goes boar and wolf hunting for local farms and gets paid for it. They're considered pests to certain types of farms. Dude. He says, the man is built differently. So when I saw her, a grown woman shitting on a man, she became dirt to me. Today she's a teacher, married to a guy who drives a school bus. That's her world now. Oh, that poor idiot that married her, and she's a teacher. A feminist teacher. Oh, wonderful. Making the world a better place. And, well, I'm not going to look down on her husband for driving a school bus. Somebody's got to do the job. Somebody has to drive those little assholes to school, so it can be him. They ain't going to last very long. Well, okay, her dad's awesome, but obviously the dad still spoiled her. The dad obviously had a weakness for his oldest daughter. Number 5, to the combative woman who said, women will rule the earth and men will be subservient. Okay, I clearly missed that comment that somebody said. That's somebody trolling you, dude. But I'll read it anyway. He says, no, you won't. And you wouldn't want to. Power sounds sexy until you actually have it. Then you realize power is just polite way of saying a shitload of work and extreme scrutiny. You don't see a female uprising not because someone is stopping it, but because once women start to move toward it, most realize they wouldn't actually want it. They don't enjoy the stress and responsibility that comes with true authority. That's just reality. If you want to try, go ahead, but I don't think you'll stick with it. He says, a source, I've held extreme power and authority in my life, and it was more stressful than anything I ever experienced, even more than working in the Army emergency room. He goes, one visible world example, look at the before and after photo of any president during their term. When it's over, they look like death. Barack Obama was a fairly young president, and the guy looked like a zombie after his second term concluded. Well, that he did. But then again, if I was married to Michelle for 8 years, I would look like a fucking zombie too. But then again, she was probably for 8 years sticking her nose in his presidency. I mean, why do you think the guy smoked? He's probably like, this chick is driving me crazy. And puffing away. Yeah, he really aged. When he left, he looked young. And then when he got out, it was like, hair's gray. He looked even skinnier. But he was like, thank God I'm out of here. Final thoughts. He says, good luck, gentlemen. Whatever path you take, just don't walk into marriage blind. Know what you're getting into. That knowledge is your power. Well, for the most of us, the knowledge is don't fucking do it. But for the rest of you guys who want to do it, this guy in his video definitely gave some good pieces of information that many of you guys can use. And again, it ain't just about marriage. That can be applied. If you really think about it, a lot of that information can be applied really to any relationship, but especially romantic relationship with a woman. So, sir, I really appreciate that, and I wish you all the best with your family and your wife and all that. And hopefully one day your asshole feminist sister-in-law gets divorced, because that'll be really funny. I truly do hope that I don't see her picture up on like the New York Post or something as yet another teacher who was sending spicy pictures to 14-year-olds or something like that. I mean, nowadays, you never know. But every other day, there's something like, you guys notice that? A 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 11-year-old. It's freaking crazy, but good God. Anyhow, you don't want me to sound off about that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a good story to share, send it my way. strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it to friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.